What does it truly mean to be wealthy? Is it the size of your bank account, the luxury of your possessions, or the prestige of your social status? These questions have puzzled humanity for millennia. However, no philosophical tradition has offered more profound and practical insights than Stoicism. Founded in Athens around 300 BCE, Stoicism presents a radical perspective on wealth that resonates powerfully in our modern era of consumerism and social comparison. The Stoics did not equate wealth with material abundance or external markers of success. Instead, they saw true wealth as an internal state characterized by self-sufficiency, moderated desires, and inner freedom. The Stoic view offers a refreshing alternative in a world where we are constantly bombarded with messages equating happiness with acquisition. It challenges us to look beyond the superficial trappings of wealth and consider what truly enriches our lives. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants, said Epictetus, a formerly enslaved person who became one of Stoicism's most influential teachers. This simple yet profound statement encapsulates the Stoic approach to wealth. It suggests that true richness comes not from accumulating more, but from needing less. Seneca, another towering figure in Stoic philosophy, echoed this sentiment when he wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." These words cut to the heart of our modern dilemma, the endless cycle of desire and dissatisfaction that keeps us chasing after the next big thing, never quite satisfied with what we have. The Stoics didn't just criticize the pursuit of wealth, they offered a constructive alternative. They advocated for a life of virtue, self-discipline, and inner cultivation. "He is the most powerful person who has power over himself," Seneca advised, pointing to self-mastery as the ultimate form of wealth. This perspective invites us to redefine what it means to live a prosperous life. It encourages us to look inward for fulfillment, rather than constantly seeking it in external circumstances. The Stoics teach us that true wealth lies in our ability to find contentment in the present moment, cultivate wisdom and courage, and live in harmony with our deepest values. In this exploration, we will delve into the Stoic approach to wealth. We will examine how to define personal wealth in a way that aligns with our authentic selves, not societal expectations. We will discuss the liberating practice of knowing what is enough and how it can free us from the tyranny of endless wants. Additionally, we will delve into the counterintuitive Stoic practice of voluntary poverty, a powerful tool for cultivating gratitude and resilience. Finally, we will explore how to build genuine, lasting wealth by developing our inner resources and living a life of purpose and integrity. The wisdom of the Stoics offers us a pathway to a more prosperous and meaningful existence. It shows us that the wealthiest life is not filled with the most possessions, but the one most aligned with our values, most at peace with itself, and most open to the richness of human experience. The Stoics, through their keen observations and life experiences, developed a profound understanding of the paradoxical nature of material wealth. Their insights challenge our conventional notions of what it means to be rich, offering a perspective that is both enlightening and liberating. Let's begin with Seneca, one of the most influential Stoic philosophers. In one of his letters, he writes, "Money doesn't make you rich. These individuals have riches just as we say we have a fever, when the fever really has us." This powerful metaphor reveals Seneca's view that wealth often possesses people rather than vice versa. Seneca observed that many wealthy individuals in Rome were paradoxically among the poorest in spirit. Money had made them obsessive, controlled their schedules, and surrounded them with insincere flatterers. Instead of providing freedom, their wealth had become a burden, enslaving them to constant worry and the fear of loss. This idea is echoed in another of Seneca's quotes, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." Here, Seneca points to the greedy nature of desire. No matter how much wealth one accumulates, one remains spiritually impoverished if the craving for more persists. Epictetus, another towering figure in Stoic philosophy, shared this perspective. A formerly enslaved person who gained his freedom and became a respected teacher, Epictetus had unique insight into the true nature of wealth and liberty. He once shared a story about a man who had been offered a lucrative job by Emperor Augustus. The man came to Epictetus, boasting about the money and fame he would gain. Epictetus, however, was unimpressed. He responded with probing questions that cut to the heart of what truly matters in life. "I told him not to touch it," Epictetus told his students. When the man protested that he would make a lot of money, Epictetus replied, "Yes, for little in return." The man argued that many people would learn his name, to which Epictetus asked, "Are you planning to be there every time someone utters your name?" When the man said his name would outlive him, Epictetus said, "So will a rock you carve your name into." Finally, when the man boasted about wearing a gold crown, Epictetus delivered the coup de grace, "And they will put a crown made of roses on you for your funeral. You will look even more elegant in that." Through this dialogue, Epictetus demonstrates the fleeting and unsatisfying nature of external markers of wealth and success. He encourages us to look beyond surface-level gains and consider the true cost of pursuing wealth, the sacrifices, compromises, and spiritual poverty that often accompany it. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher king, also weighed in on this topic. He famously said, "We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own." This observation highlights how our perception of wealth is often shaped more by societal expectations and the judgments of others than by our values and sense of fulfillment. The Stoics recognize that true wealth comes from within, from a state of inner freedom, contentment, and self-mastery. As Epictetus put it, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. This radical redefinition of wealth shifts our focus from external accumulation to internal cultivation. By moderating our desires, cultivating contentment with what we have, and developing our inner resources, the Stoics argue that we can achieve wealth far more durable and satisfying than material riches. These ancient insights challenge us to reevaluate our modern notions of wealth and success. They invite us to consider whether we are genuinely enriched by the size of our bank accounts or the number of possessions we accumulate. Or can we find a deeper, more enduring form of richness by mastering ourselves, moderating our desires, and focusing on what truly matters in life? The Stoic view on wealth offers us a path to freedom, freedom from the endless cycle of desire and dissatisfaction, freedom from the tyranny of others' opinions, and freedom to live a life aligned with our deepest values. In embracing this perspective, we open ourselves to a form of wealth that no market crash can diminish, and no thief can steal the wealth of a life well lived. In exploring the Stoic perspective on wealth, we now turn to a crucial concept: defining personal wealth. The Stoics recognized that true richness is deeply subjective, going beyond mere financial abundance. Let's begin with a powerful quote from Epictetus. "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." This statement encapsulates the Stoic approach to personal wealth. It suggests that our richness is not determined by what we own, but by our relationship to our desires. Consider for a moment what a rich life means to you. Is it the freedom to travel the world, the ability to spend quality time with loved ones, the opportunity to pursue meaningful work, or the simple pleasure of a quiet life, free from financial stress? The answers to these questions will vary significantly from person to person. Some may find wealth in a life of adventure and new experiences, while others may see it in the depth of their relationships or the impact of their work. Still, others define wealth as the freedom to live unburdened by excessive possessions or obligations. Stoicism says the richest person is not one who has the most, but who needs the least. This perspective invites us to shift our focus from accumulation to contentment. Instead of constantly striving for more, we can cultivate satisfaction with what we already have. This doesn't mean we should abandon all ambition or desire for improvement. Instead, it encourages us to be mindful of our wants and to distinguish between what we truly need for a fulfilling life and what society tells us we should want. The Stoics also emphasize the importance of self-sufficiency in defining personal wealth. Another prominent Stoic philosopher advised, "Make yourself wealthy not by facilitating every whim, but by removing them." This suggests that true wealth comes from our ability to meet our needs and find contentment within ourselves, rather than relying on external sources for our happiness. Consider the difference between someone who needs constant entertainment, luxury, and validation to feel satisfied, and someone who can find joy in simple pleasures, meaningful work, and their own company. Who, in this scenario, is truly wealthier? The Stoic approach to personal wealth also emphasizes the value of intangible riches. Wisdom, virtue, meaningful relationships, and peace of mind are forms of wealth that can't be measured in monetary terms, but are invaluable to a well-lived life. As Epictetus reminds us, he is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. This attitude of gratitude is a form of wealth, allowing us to appreciate and fully experience the richness of our lives in the present moment. In redefining personal wealth, we are invited to consider what truly matters to us and to align our lives with those values. This may mean letting go of societal expectations and pressures to conform to a particular definition of success. It may involve simplifying our lives, reducing our desires, and focusing on what brings us genuine joy and fulfillment. The Stoic perspective on wealth offers a path to a richer, more meaningful life. It teaches us that true wealth is not about how much we have, but about how we relate to what we have. By cultivating contentment, self-sufficiency, and gratitude, we can find a form of wealth that is enduring and deeply satisfying, regardless of our financial circumstances. The Stoics believed that true wealth lies not in accumulating more, but in knowing what is enough. This concept, often referred to as moderation or temperance, is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy and offers a powerful antidote to the insatiable desire for more that characterizes much of modern life. Seneca, a prominent Stoic philosopher and statesman, wrote extensively about the importance of knowing enough. He advised, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." This statement suggests that our sense of abundance or lack is not determined by how much we have, but by how much we desire. In practical terms, knowing enough means being mindful of our desires and setting limits on our pursuit of material possessions. It involves recognizing when we have sufficient resources to meet our needs and choosing to be content with that. This doesn't mean we should never strive for improvement or seek to enhance our lives. Instead, it encourages us to be aware of the point at which more becomes unnecessary and even counterproductive. Epictetus, another influential Stoic philosopher, shared a story illustrating this principle. He recounted the tale of a man who came to him boasting about his wealth and the many possessions he had acquired. Epictetus responded by asking the man if he felt any happier or more fulfilled with all his riches. When the man admitted he did not, Epictetus pointed out that true wealth lies not in having more, but in needing less. This practice of knowing enough can be applied to various aspects of our lives. It can mean setting limits on our spending, choosing to live in a smaller home, or driving a less expensive car. It can involve prioritizing experiences and relationships over material possessions, or finding joy in simple pleasures rather than constantly seeking new and bigger thrills. By embracing the concept of enough, we free ourselves from the endless cycle of desire and dissatisfaction. We learn to appreciate what we have and find contentment in the present moment. This shift in perspective can lead to a more profound sense of abundance and fulfillment, regardless of our financial circumstances. The Stoics also believed that knowing enough is essential for cultivating gratitude. When we recognize that we have sufficient resources to meet our needs, we can appreciate what we have, rather than constantly focusing on what we lack. This attitude of gratitude can enhance our overall well-being and contribute to a richer, more satisfying life. In our modern world, where consumerism and social comparison often drive our sense of self-worth and success, the Stoic practice of knowing enough offers a refreshing alternative. It encourages us to look beyond external markers of wealth and focus on what truly matters: inner peace, meaningful relationships, and a life aligned with our values. By adopting this practice, we can cultivate a sense of abundance that is not dependent on our material circumstances, but rooted in our ability to find contentment and fulfillment within ourselves. This shift in perspective can lead to a deeper, more enduring form of wealth that enhances our overall well-being and enriches our lives. In essence, knowing enough is about recognizing the point at which we have sufficient resources to live a fulfilling life and choosing to be content with that. It is a practice that encourages mindfulness, gratitude, and self-awareness, and offers a path to true wealth that goes beyond the accumulation of material possessions. One of the most radical and counterintuitive practices advocated by the Stoics is the practice of voluntary poverty. This involves intentionally living with less to cultivate resilience, gratitude, and a deeper appreciation for the essentials of life. The Stoic philosopher Seneca, despite his immense wealth, regularly practiced voluntary poverty. He would periodically set aside time to live with minimal resources, experiencing firsthand what it felt like to have little. Seneca wrote, "Set aside a certain number of days, during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare, with coarse and rough dress, saying to yourself the while, 'Is this the condition that I feared?'" This practice allowed Seneca to confront his fears of poverty and discover that his happiness and well-being were not dependent on external circumstances. Epictetus, who had experienced both slavery and freedom, also emphasized the value of voluntary poverty. He taught that by practicing poverty, we could strengthen our resilience and reduce our dependence on external comforts. Epictetus advised, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. By intentionally living with less, we can cultivate a sense of self-sufficiency and inner strength that makes us less vulnerable to external changes and challenges." Voluntary poverty is not about self-denial or asceticism for its own sake. Instead, it is a tool for developing a more profound sense of gratitude and contentment. When we choose to live with less, we gain a greater appreciation for the essentials of life and learn to find joy in simple pleasures. This practice can also help us break free from the endless cycle of desire and dissatisfaction that often accompanies the pursuit of material wealth. In our modern world, where consumerism and the constant pursuit of more are prevalent, the practice of voluntary poverty offers a powerful antidote. It encourages us to question our assumptions about what we truly need for a fulfilling life and to reevaluate our relationship with material possessions. By embracing voluntary poverty, we can cultivate a sense of abundance and contentment that is not dependent on external circumstances. This practice helps us develop resilience and inner strength, making us less vulnerable to the ups and downs of life. It also fosters gratitude and appreciation for what we have, enhancing our overall well-being and contributing to a richer, more satisfying life. In conclusion, the practice of voluntary poverty is a powerful tool for cultivating true wealth. By intentionally living with less, we can develop resilience, gratitude, and a deeper appreciation for the essentials of life. This practice helps us break free from the cycle of desire and dissatisfaction and discover a more enduring form of wealth rooted in inner contentment and self-sufficiency. Having explored the Stoic perspectives on wealth, contentment, and voluntary poverty, we now turn to the practical steps for building lasting wealth in our lives. This wealth is not measured by the size of our bank accounts or the number of possessions we accumulate, but by the depth of our inner resources, the strength of our relationships, and the alignment of our lives with our deepest values. The Stoics believed that true wealth comes from cultivating virtues and inner qualities that cannot be taken away. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." This statement highlights the importance of cultivating a positive and resilient mindset as a foundation for lasting wealth. To build lasting wealth, we must first develop self-awareness and clarity about our values and priorities. This involves taking the time to reflect on what truly matters to us and aligning our lives with those values. As the Stoics teach us, true wealth lies not in the accumulation of external possessions, but in living a life of purpose and integrity. Another essential aspect of building lasting wealth is cultivating gratitude and contentment. As Epictetus reminds us, he is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. By focusing on what we have rather than what we lack, we can develop a sense of abundance and appreciation that enriches our lives. Building meaningful relationships is also a crucial component of lasting wealth. The Stoics recognize the importance of community and connection in our overall well-being. Seneca wrote, "We are members of one great body, planted by nature. We must consider the interest of our race." By nurturing our relationships and contributing to the well-being of others, we can create a sense of belonging and mutual support that enhances our overall wealth. In addition to cultivating inner qualities and relationships, building lasting wealth involves taking practical steps to ensure our financial stability and security. This includes managing our finances wisely, living within our means, and saving for the future. By making thoughtful and intentional financial decisions, we can create a foundation of stability that allows us to focus on what truly matters in life. The Stoics also emphasize the importance of continuous learning and personal growth. Marcus Aurelius advised, "Do not act as if you were going to live 10,000 years. Death hangs over you. While you live, while it is in your power, be good." This reminder of our mortality encourages us to make the most of our time and to pursue activities that contribute to our growth and well-being. Finally, building lasting wealth involves cultivating resilience and the ability to navigate challenges and setbacks. The Stoics believed that adversity is an inevitable part of life, and that our true wealth lies in our ability to respond to it with courage and wisdom. As Epictetus taught, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." By developing resilience, we can maintain a sense of inner wealth and well-being regardless of external circumstances. In summary, building lasting wealth involves cultivating inner qualities, nurturing meaningful relationships, managing our finances wisely, pursuing personal growth, and developing resilience. By focusing on these aspects of our lives, we can create a foundation of true wealth that is enduring and deeply satisfying. The Stoic principles offer us valuable guidance in this journey, showing us that true wealth is not about what we have, but about how we live. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, like, share, and subscribe. See you next time.